Hey.
Oh my goodness. Will you be talking about your keeper of the night?
No.
Okay, so I just have to draw everyone's attention. This sculpture on the pedestal that's sticking out is the Stonefox creation. So I want to make sure you all take a look at the keeper, P-U-R-R, of the night. And then let's welcome Stonefox.
Hello, everybody. Hey, see you there. Well, darkness. Darkness is very special. It relates to light as silence relates to sound. Now, The Hobbit tells us, as you probably remember, that darkness cannot be heard, cannot be felt, cannot be seen, cannot be smelt. It lies behind the stars and under hills and all the empty holes it fills. Now, regarding my writing anything meaningful about darkness, I'm not really bright enough nor illuminated enough. But in thinking about it, I did come up with a lot of questions about darkness, and so I thought tonight I would just present you with the questions, and you can get back to me sometime in the future. Now, Kalia gave us a beautiful song about Starry, Starry Night, which brings up the first question. Which is more important? Light because it shows us the way, or darkness because it shows us the stars? And where did the boogeyman of our childhood hide when we turn the light on? Now, I personally sleep with the lights on, not because I'm afraid of the boogeyman. I do it out of courtesy to the boogeyman. He's afraid of me, which is understandable. And speaking of sleep, I hope that everybody gets enough sleep, because sleep is very important. And I try to get 8 hours a day in, and of course another 10 at nighttime. And have any of you fallen asleep with your clothes on?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I do all the time. So my question is, do you think I'd be better off just simply having my clothes made out of blankets and sheets? Now, getting back to the boogeyman, how is it that darkness is able to be both frightening and soothing? And why is it that no matter how much we turn up the lights, we turn up all the lights in this room, there still would be the darkness of a shadow, no matter how light it got? So I don't really mind that, because my shadow was my first imaginary friend, so that was quite okay. Now, at times, shadows can be super cool. You know, they can make us look bigger, taller, more formidable. So the question becomes, should we live up to those shadows? And how do you feel when when shadows make you look fat, you know? So it works both ways. The shadows can be harmless pranksters, as you know. Now, getting back to sleeping, have you ever dreamed that you were awake only to wake up and found out you're still asleep? I have. And are we better able to see in a pitch black room when we lighten up? Now, is it okay to eat dark chocolate in bright daylight? Do shadows chase each other around in the dark? And have you ever seen a shadow of a doubt? Yeah, I doubted that you did. And why is it that those same shadows insist on following us around all day long? And can't they get a life of their own? And exactly what does the shadow know? We're old enough to remember sitting in front of the radio and learning that the shadow knows. I don't know what the shadow knows. You can tell me on that. Now, when you close the refrigerator, have you ever wondered if that light really goes out? Has anybody ever put their phone on video and stuck it in their distant shed? I have. Now, other than sunglasses, what else can you think of that lightens the light and darkens the dark? So you can give me your list. Now, is it okay for ladies to wear a nightie during the daytime? And if you lost your mood ring in a dark room, how would we know how you felt about it? And if you stay up all night just to see what time the sun gets up, will it eventually dawn on you? And should we live in the shadow of the great masters as artists? Or should we learn to live in the light of our own souls? Or both? And is it okay to daydream at nighttime? And if you fall asleep in the daytime, can you have nightmares? And why is it when night falls, many hours later, day breaks? What's that all about? So, and how come the weathercast is so boring? Each day, the same thing. Continued dark throughout the night with scattered showers of light by morning. Boring. Now, after God created 24 hours of alternating darkness and light, did he pretty much call it a day? And during the time of Sir Lancelot, do they call it the Dark Ages because there are so many nights? And was Sir Lancelot's girlfriend a lady of the night, maybe? And when thinking in a totally blackened room, is it still possible to see the light? And could it be that darkness is really there all the time, we just can't see it in the light? Now, we know what the speed of light is, but what is the speed of darkness? I mean, if you were to run ahead of the light, would there be darkness at the other end waiting for the light to come? And if we haven't walked in darkness, how could we know we walked in the light? And why is it that shadows need to exist? The shadows need light to exist, but darkness doesn't. The shadow is just a bit of darkness. Maybe you can clarify that for me. And ladies, if you lose your slipper when you're out in the town at midnight, are you Cinderella or are you just drunk? Now, here's an imagination exercise for you. I know a lot of people in the audience and there's really big imaginations here, so here's a good test for you. Try to go into a darkened room, close your eyes, and imagine light of a color that you've never seen before. Good luck with that. Now, after the salon's over tonight, at the end we have to clean up. There should be a don an apron and pick up a dusk mop. So, darkness is special, but so is light. Day and night, dark and light, they cross as one in each delight. And so that I don't remain in the dark, I'll be anxiously waiting for your answers to my questions, and I'm never too old to learn something stupid. So, thank you for listening, and night-night.